Are you satisfied? Happy? Miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? It's time for the Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Tune in daily and join our controversial topics as we talk about singles, sex, and men and women's issues. And now, the queen of relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show. Always keeping it real. Your host, Michelle Hughes.
Well, hello everyone, and yes, I'm your host, Michelle Hughes, and you're listening to the Michelle Hughes Show, and you know we deal with sex, yes, no, we deal with single sex, and we want you to be satisfied. We don't want you just to deal with sex, and that's not the topic tonight. No, it's not. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to meet new people after a breakup. And that's not always an easy task. And when you find yourself in this precarious situation where you have finally decided to break up with someone, sometimes you may go back and forth, but it's never easy when you break up. And so I received a letter on this week, and I decided to do a show concerning this because I believe that many people, you'll find yourself sometimes when the seasons are changing, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season, and sometimes people just want, a change, and that change may not be what you want it to be, because that change may be you. They don't want you in their life anymore. And so that's a challenge that no one wants to face, because rejection is never easy. And even if you're the person who's given it, you still feel a little bad about breaking up with the person, but you have to do what you have to do. So I would say this to you all who may be in that position today where you have broken up with someone may have broken up with you. You have to make some decisions, and you have to decide in yourself that you deserve better. And that's the reason why maybe that person took that plunge to say they no longer wanted to be in the relationship. And so you can't blame the person, because that's where they are at that point in their life. And so just be happy that they were truthful enough to let you know where they are. But sometimes you can fight for what you believe in. There are many times if you believe that this is the person for you, maybe they're going through changes, and you've been here before. This is not your first breakup. And so you're saying to yourself, oh no, I'm not going to let this go like this. Well, fight back. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you don't fight for what you believe in, at least letting the person know how you feel, then you'll always feel inside of you that you didn't give it your best. So that's what I would tell you. Don't feel helpless and as if, this is the end of the world. It's not. And I was listening to someone, and they were saying they were the person had broken up with them, and their girlfriend called them up and asked them if they could get together. And so he said, yeah, we can get together. And so when he saw her, of course, there was a sense of excitement, he said, because he was just happy that at least she called him and they were getting back together. And so they went out to eat, and then they later went back to her apartment. And then she began to tell him that, I need to talk to you. Well, he knew that usually when she says, I need to talk to you, then she's going to, tell him that she thinks that the relationship should end, and how they are not right for each other anymore. And, going through the saga that he's used to hearing her say sometimes. And so he said this time he had prepared himself, in that whatever she said, he was going to not feel like his heart was about to come through his pants almost. And he said he was just not going to just give in like he usually does. And so he said that she looked at him, and so when she finished talking, he just said, okay. And she says, is that all you're going to say? He says, I don't know what she expected me to say to her, but all of a sudden, because I responded differently to her, she took a different approach. Then she began to want to tell him how important he was to her and how they shouldn't be breaking up. She took, just like, the devil's advocate. That's what she became. And she used the reverse on him. So he's just, sat there and listened to her and everything. And so this man, this is not a man who's a Christian. He said the next thing he knew, they were making love. Okay. And so I'm bringing this point up for a reason. And the reason why I'm bringing up, they ended up having sex together, is because a lot of times that is the important part of most of our relationships, and that's the emotional attachment that keeps us in our relationships even when they are falling apart right before us. And so he continues to go on, and he says that they stayed together maybe a couple more months, and finally they broke up, and they never did come back together. So sex can maybe maintain it for a while, but it's not going to keep it if there are other issues in your relationship that's going on. And so I think that's the thing that a lot of times we think all we got to do is do a little booty call and that's it. No, it's more to it than that. And I think that when we understand that sex is good, it feels good, and everybody knows that. But when you are trying to, I'm talking to singles, if you're trying to develop a relationship, that's not what you should be aiming for. It's not the sex, because it's so many intricate things that you should be looking for in your relationship, more than just how he makes you feel under the covers, or how she makes you feel under the cover. Because after you get out of the cover, or from under the cover, I should say, you still have to deal with who? The two of you. And if the issues were not dealt with before you made love, it's not going to go away. And that's what they found out, that it can cure it for a minute, but it's not going to save that relationship. And I believe that that's why we're going to have some workshops, some seminars, and just some webinars I want you to come to, because I believe it's time for us to have better relationships. And I think that the reason why we don't have better relationships because we don't know where to go to get information. So now you know where to go and you know where to come. And so I'm going to expect for you to come to these different engagements that we're going to have. I expect for you to come, because don't put your relationships just at will. Just not having proper information that's going to make your relationship good. It's going to make it better. It's going to help you to have a healthy relationship that's going to last. Well, I'm going to get into the letter that I received on this week. And he starts off by saying, "Hello, Michelle. My girlfriend just broke up with me. I really loved her, and we had been together for over 7 years. I am really feeling bad. I have been listening to your show, and I decided to write you. Maybe you can help me. Thanks, Andrew." Well, Andrew, this is never an easy position to be in, is dealing with a breakup. And your heart, the feeling of rejection. You say you love her, the love that you're feeling, and now it's just feeling as if you're no longer attached to that person. And now she doesn't even want you in her life. And so that makes you feel a sense of rejection, because even if you want to be with her, how can you? And it depends, I would say, if you can, Andrew, keep a working relationship with her. If you can, at all means, because what that's going to do is it's going to help you to work through where you are right now. Because there are times that I've had ex-boyfriends where they still wanted to see me, and I went out with them for a little while. But at some point, when you know you're not going to go back, and you see them steadily, trying to hold on to you, sometimes you have to just pull the cord and say you got to end it. But I don't know where you are right now, and you may need to hear her voice. And so I'm just saying, if you have a working relationship with her, that's going to make it a lot easier for you and her. And because a lot of times, just because you no longer want that person, doesn't mean that you have to be mean and hateful and not at least give them what they need to get over you. And so I think that's only just being considerate. And so if you can manage to have that type of working relationship with her, it's just going to make things easier for you to end the relationship if you feel that there's no way you two are going to come back together. And if you can't pull it together, then what you need to do is start working on yourself, Andrew. This is the time that you need to heal. You're going to have to ask God. I don't know if you believe in God, but I would say ask God to heal you at this time. And, to help you get over your girlfriend. And the only way you're going to do that is to begin to listen to your inward spirit. The inward man, that man that's calling out to be with her, especially if you've been with her sexually, you're going to have moments that you're going to want her and to be intimate with her. And so those are the things that you are going to really have to call on God and ask him to help you to overcome that sexual desire that you're feeling right now. Because what you can do, like with many people, they just go out and find somebody and just have sex with. And so, I mean, that's not good. And especially with today, with the diseases being so high, I don't know how anyone could allow their appetite to get so out of control that you just don't care, just as long as you are getting your needs met. And so I don't know where you are sexually, but this is what I would say to you. This is the time that if you don't know God, you're going to have to pray and ask him to give you what you need to overcome the sensation of having sex at this time. Because I believe that if you can get over that period of the sexual part that you may feel, or you may still be having needs to be with her, then that will help you to get over the relationship. Because you got a whole lot of things pulling on you right now. So if you can just pull it together sexually first, get that under control, and then you can begin to heal inwardly, and God can give you the ability to heal, because it's a process. It doesn't come overnight. I mean, you were there for 7 years, so you can't expect that you're going to get over this relationship overnight. There's no way you're going to just overcome this relationship overnight. Some people do it by running into another relationship, and now they got all these different people who they still have, as Dr. Bill would say, resentments for. And so, you don't want to have all that stored stuff, garbage inside of you, because you didn't heal properly. So I would say if you would take your time, let this relationship process and give it time to go through the areas that you're going to have to go through in order for yourself to get over feeling, totally detached from that relationship, especially if you know you're not going to go back. Because a lot of times people break up, but they go back to the person. So I don't know where you are. It might be just a temporary breakup, or it may be a permanent breakup. But if it's a permanent breakup, then what I would tell you, then just take your time, pray, ask God to give you strength to overcome this relationship, and then be easy on yourself. Don't try to go out and just get with anybody. I keep prefacing that because a lot of times we think that's the secret to getting over someone, when in actuality it isn't. So, what you want to do is just take your time, be kind to yourself, start loving on yourself, start getting to know who you are and what you liked about the relationship, some of the issues that you feel maybe you would look for maybe a different woman because you couldn't maybe tolerate certain things that you saw in her. So now you should be looking at some of the areas that you gleaned from her and some of the areas that that you would not want in another individual, and some things you just cannot have. So when you get with the next person, you'll know immediately if you see that that's something that there's no need me even trying to be with this person because from the last relationship it didn't work. So I believe that if we would take our times after we break up and look at the things that we loved about the person, the things that we didn't like, and the things that we really enjoyed about the person that brought happiness to us. Those are things you need to write down because, each person's different, but there's some things that now you can draw upon because of maybe your previous relationships. And so, but right now we're talking about the relationship that you just broke up with. So listen, Andrew, I hope I've helped you. I pray that God will give you the strength to overcome this relationship, and that you will be patient with yourself, and each day you're going to get better. And if you believe that, that's how you're going to get over being with her and not feeling stuck. Sometimes we feel like, oh my God, I just feel so stuck. I can't get over being with her because I'm just feeling so miserable because she's no longer with me. And so if you can get over that period, I guarantee you'll make it through. So write me and let me know how you're doing, and I'll give you some more encouraging words. Well, people, we're going to go to a break because that we're going to continue the conversation on why people break up. And it's not an easy thing, but we're going to help you tonight.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as we deal with more heart-to-heart issues. This is the Queen of Relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Stay with us on the Michelle Hughes Show.
Do you want to change your life? Unlock the secrets to making positive changes in your life with a free membership at makingapositivechange.com. Take a chance on yourself. Join the Making a Positive Change community today by going to www.makingapositivechange.com or talk to Dr. Bill directly at 239-349-2209.
It's the Michelle Hughes Show. We keep it real. We talk about singles, sex, men and women issues. Come join the conversation on the Michelle Hughes Show. Are you satisfied, happy, or miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Well, tune in daily and join our controversial topics. She is the Queen of Relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show. She keeps it real. Don't miss a show with Michelle Hughes.
That's right. You're listening to the Michelle Hughes Show. We're here Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, go tell a friend about the Michelle Hughes Show. We're here for you singles to help you in your relationship issues. Well, tonight we're talking about those breakups, how to meet new people after a breakup. And I believe that first you have to get over the person before you even considering getting to know someone else. Because if you don't get over the detachment of being released from that person and the pain and also just the shock of losing the person and you have to break yourself from the relationship, because you will find yourself being feeling needy or feeling manipulative, wanting to go back and using any reason to go back to the person. So you want to grow through this situation so that you won't keep going back and forth. If you go back to your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, you will find yourself being or feeling like you're codependent to them, and they will have the power to run the relationship at your expense. And so that's why you have to know what you're doing, because if you keep going back, somebody's going to feel like, okay, I got the upper hand here. And that's not how a relationship should be based. No, it's not. I have an upmanship over you because I have your heart the way I want it, because I know you love me so much and you'll do anything to get back with me. And so that's what happens a lot of times when we break up with someone. So you have to remember, the person should add to your happiness, and they should not define or tell you who you are as an individual. See, this is why you have to go inside of yourself and understand why you're getting with the person that you're getting with. So the next relationship that you go into, it won't be a situation that you just left out of. Hopefully it'll be better, but it can't be better unless you take out the time to look at yourself and begin to say, okay, these are the attributes that I need in order to have a better relationship. Because if you continue to just look at that person, your ex, and keep going after, some people never get over their exes. And so they just, they have a fond memory of maybe one person, and no matter who they get with, they always thinking about Roy, or they always thinking about Sean, whoever it is. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm using these, arbitrary names, but I'm just saying that's why you have to know what you're doing when you're breaking up. And if you have a relationship, that's good. But you got to know what you're doing when you break up. See, if you don't understand why you broke up with the person, then you'll never heal from that breakup. But when you know why you broke up, or why you're breaking up, or maybe it's her breaking up, or he's breaking up with you for whatever reason, then you got to detach yourself from them. And then you have to begin to I'm gonna give you 4 things that you need to do. First, after a breakup, what you need to detach yourself from that person after a time where you feel that you no longer have that longing to be with them, and you know you're not coming back, it's over. Then you got to detach yourself from them. 2, you have to define who you are. Now, after the breakup, you have to begin to look inside of yourself and begin to love yourself, and begin to say, listen, where am I going now? I'm no longer with my ex, so they no longer define me. And so I have to begin to define myself, because you got to go back to being by yourself again and not talking to them on the phone and being with them or what have you. But sometimes some exes be together more than they were before they got broke up. So I don't know. Sometimes these breakups are not really breakups. They just shake-ups, okay? So I don't know if yours is just a shake-up to get the house in order. But whatever it takes to get your relationship to get where it needs to go. But I'm talking about people who really, they have broken up, and now you're trying to get to the next level so you can meet someone else that's going to bring some happiness that you're looking for in your life. Number 3 is focus on yourself, because you have to heal from your ex relationship. Okay? And I'm saying that ex relationship, the relationship that you have broken up with, that person that you just detach yourself from. And so when you begin to focus on yourself, you are beginning to spend more time, more quality time, trying to figure out, okay, where I go from here. You may cry, you may feel like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. what you need to do that, and that's all good. It's all, don't feel bad about that. That's just being normal. That's being healthy. Everybody feels pain after a breakup, even the person who breaks up with the person, unless some people just go into another relationship. So I don't know if they feeling pain or just, I'm just getting over it. I don't know what they're feeling. 4 is, if there is a possibility in you coming back to that person, you still need to know who you are. Because if you don't begin to figure out, is this going to be a way that this person manipulates me? Because sometimes people become manipulative. That's how they manipulate the relationship, is, breaking up with you that may bring some type of excitement into the relationship. And that's not good. That's not good at all. But you have to decide how much you are going to take after you have broken up with this person, or that person is broken up with you. It says here that many times you will start to feel a feeling of rejection from your ex. And that feeling, I'm going to tell you what the University of Michigan stated. The University of Michigan stated this way about rejection, that the pain of rejection that a person feels after a breakup actually triggers the same part of our brain that feels physical pain. So what you're feeling is really true. It's as deep as they're saying here, is pain, that rejection that you're feeling from the breakup. And so how long does it take to get over your breakup and not being brokenhearted or being consumed by your breakup? That's something you have to begin to decide. How fast you want to get over this person. How much you talk to yourself and saying, I'm going to think differently. I'm not going to think about this person. I'm going to start spending quality time doing, maybe you play sports. You'll spend more time in playing sports, or if you have a talent or some type of skill, you're going to do something that's going to help you fight back so that you can obtain change. So you won't feel helpless because you're not receiving the love from this individual that you once felt love from. And now all of a sudden, this person is no longer wanting to be with you. And so these are the things that you can begin to talk to yourself, begin to write some things down, and each day write things down to help you realize, okay, I'm no longer with Sally, or I'm no longer with Steve, but it doesn't mean I have to feel so brokenhearted that I can't get up and do some things for myself. You're going to start talking to yourself until you're going to start envisioning what you want in a new relationship. And then you're going to start placing yourself in new environments. You're going to go places where maybe you can meet a new person. Maybe, and I don't say you start doing that for at least 6 months, okay? Because why would you want to jump right into a new relationship real quick? You haven't even analyzed who you are from the last relationship, or from the relationship that you have presently now broken up with a person. So listen, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. I just believe that breakups are not easy, but the only way you're going to find some contentment within yourself is that you're going to have to ask God to relieve that pain from you and give it to Him. And I guarantee you, you'll feel much better. Well, you know what we do here. Until tomorrow, keep it real.
Thanks for tuning in to the Michelle Hughes Show. Join us daily for more hot topics with the Queen of Relationships. Always keeping it real. See you tomorrow on The Michelle Hughes Show.